Good evening, Speed Gaming fans! Do you hear something in the distance? Well, you should be hearing the sweet, sweet sound of battle. Why, you ask? This is the Round 5 opening match of the 2019 Final Fantasy Spring Tournament, and let me tell you now, this is probably one of the most important matches for these two runners. Winner moves on into the play-in race with only having to be in the top 5 to 6 places roundabout to move on into the bracket play of the tournament. The loser, however, will have to play in a last chance qualifier where he has to win against all other 2 and 3 record runners just to make it into the play-in race. High stakes are tonight for both of these runners. But before we get more into this match, let me introduce my broadcast partner tonight, Melee Wizard. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello to all.
Well, and of course we can't forget the very important tracker tonight, the Hangry Canuck. Thank you for doing that for us, Hangry, and keep us on our toes. All right. So the main stars for tonight on our left, HighRo Fellows. He's a recent graduate. He actually graduated before the man on your left, Spellzapp. He's been around for a while, and he's been a very big contributor to help us broadcasting and tracking and a lot of other things. He's a very important part of our community. So thank you for that, HighRo. Spellzapp, as I mentioned before, a recent graduate of our new player program, aka the Ducklings. He's, what can I say? You talk to any of the top people around, they are worried about Spellzapp. This guy can play. He has some tendencies where he gets himself in trouble, but he's a player and he will make plays really well. So Melee, kind of go over the team comp on both sides and what they're looking for.
All right, so for starters, for week 5 here, we have the Forced Black Mage and the Banned Thief, which really nobody liked, I think, when this was rolled. So both of our runners chose a fighter and a red mage, but HighRo Fellows chose to take a second black mage, and Spellzapp took a white mage. That's going to be interesting, especially when we see what we get in our first couple levels of white magic. Because if we get something good like Fade in level 1 that can't be learned by the red mage, we might be seeing things might get interesting. We might end up seeing HighRo reroll the party or something if he really wants it.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're not gonna go with the white mage, you better hope Fade or Life is not locked out. Life is the protector of wipes. The wiping loses time, and against a player like Spellzapp, a wipe can cost you big.
Yep, but if you have something like, say, level 1 nuke, for example, having 3 people that can use it can take you a long way. So HighRo Fellows is definitely going high offense. We'll see how well it plays out here today.
And I actually like that play. I'm a big fan of going high offense, especially in Temple of Fiends. Try and kill the fiends as quickly as possible. They are at the starting gate. They're going to be going here shortly, probably in about 5 seconds. It'll pop up on the stream. So you guys, I hope you're sitting back. Your seatbelts are in. You guys are in the upright position because we're in for one heck of a ride.
And I respect that high offense mindset for Topher as well, because if it doesn't really matter what the fiends have if they don't get a chance to use it.
That's a good point.
Alright, so let's see what we got in our magic shop for white magic. Life 2! Ooh! And there it is! There is the reroll for HighRo Fellows! And we have Fast Zap and Saber in black magic. That Life 2 was that was just pure white mage. Even the red wizard wouldn't be able to learn that. And I respect HighRo Fellows' decision here, because having Life 2 at level 1, that is huge.
Oh, Oxyel, very cheap. So the cool thing about Oxyel is, unfortunately, they don't have very great magic. Zap isn't too bad. You can make use of it, but if they had a good, like a lit spell, they'd be able to go, let's say if Provoca was on rack, they'd be able to dive into the Sea Shrine and get easy early experience. But Spellzapp's our first one in the Temple of Fiends. He's going to check the chests here. That's one of his normal plays. I tend to like that play. If you get an early, Wizard Staff, Thor, Zeus, a defense. It's not terribly useful at these lower levels, but it's nice to have though later on.
Free ruse. Can't argue with that.
So Zap isn't too bad early on. Unfortunately, I prefer a Quake early on or Bane.
Yeah, well, use what you got.
The good part about Zap is not many things resist it. The bad part is it's not very accurate. Once again, Spellzapp has lived up to his hype and has killed me again in one of his races. And he is getting beat up by zombies. They do not want to let Spellzapp advance to that upper left treasure chest. And he didn't save before entering Temple of Fiends, so he's going to have a long walk.
Yeah, just a little bit of money in the upper chest. And wolves have dazzle. Okay, that's not a good sign. And he resets out. I can at the very least I think Spellzapp, even if he doesn't get that defense sword back right away, he might just think about it for the future.
Yeah, that'll be something definitely. And Garland goes back to the fourth dimension.
I know Garland ends up going into the past, but I don't think that's how it usually happens. And we get the canoe and the cube.
All right,
one item that'll be really good for transport. The other is more long-term.
Yep, it doesn't tell us a whole lot. The only thing that the canoe does, though, is it opens up the entire inner continent. They have access to everything. So now we can see a lot of the Divergence. If we had a little better spells, we'll have to see what the Provoca, old Provoca has, and what old Elflin has, because if it is nothing useful, these guys, no low-level spells, they might be digging stuff with...
Oh! Imps have glance! Oh, God. And apparently, according to chat, the Grey Imps had fire too as well. Oh, we're seeing some nasty things right out of the gate.
And there's a fire too. Ash survives. Oh, okay. Spellzapp wipes out. Now we have a little divergence here. HighRo picks up a ribbon and Matoya's and a white shirt. Hello.
Wow. Matoya had some good stuff today.
I mean, you put a ribbon on that white shirt if you need to. You can save your life too, but at the same time, you might have to put it on one of your offensive casters at this point just to keep them alive.
At this point, I'm thinking he's just going to go back and save just to make sure he doesn't have to go back and get it again. And he has certainly enough money to get that Oxy. I might as well get it now, but while it's still fresh in your mind.
Yeah, he's got the money. Might as well, just in case. Like you said, or like I mentioned, if let's say Anrak is in one of these towns, you don't want to have to go back to get it. Maybe take that, gamble and do a mermaid dive. You never know. You might get something good there. I know it's dangerous, but it could pay off. And with so much on the line in this match, you might have to.
And one potential downside to having the canoe this early, and Provoca turns into Gaia today, yes, it gives you access to a lot of things, but that means you have a lot of decisions to make. You have the incentivized marsh, you have incentivized ice, and you also have the volcano, which the armory tends to have at least decent stuff in it. Which one do you go to first?
If I'm these runners, I'm checking towns first, just to see what they are, because you're hoping for Crescent. You're hoping for especially a Provoca because level 2 magic you can now use. And you're hoping for a better clear spell than Zap, or at least a more reliable clear spell.
Although it's been working for Spellzapp so far.
And hopefully Spellzapp will go up to Matoya's, but I think he's afraid. I don't know if he bought any camping equipment. Oh, nope, he realized it.
Yes, he did, and looks like he's going to be checking it just to see. It's not a bad idea, saving where he did, and if Matoya doesn't have anything, then he'll just reset back out. But we have the good stuff.
And HighRo is in Temple of Fiends. He's going to try and get his cube and the canoe and realize that he's got a whole world in front of him. Want to welcome a couple people, or a bunch of people in chat here. We got Magius, we got Asher, the smooth talker himself, the Dragon Slayer. Wilkliosis has been hanging out in here. The Falconic, the king of not following any sort of the meta during any of this. Falconic is in here. The Warmech summoner himself, E-Tap, welcome.
Suddenly seeing these Gray Imp combinations just seems really, really scary right now. And also an unrunnable Iguana. That's not a good thing to see either, but it got zapped, so all's well. Meanwhile, HighRo makes quick work of Garland, getting the canoe and the cube.
Yeah. Now, this is interesting. Spellzapp went from Old Provoca because he got the money from Matoya's. I have a feeling he's probably going to go to Crescent at this point after buying some camping equipment. HighRo might have some divergence here. Maybe go left, go to Elfland since he's already gone to Provoca.
Did HighRo fellows go to Provoca? I'm not sure he did.
Nope, you're right. He didn't actually go there. That's right, because he went to Matoya's and he went to do a save to back at the Canary.
Yeah, seeing these iguanas when you pretty much have no offense whatsoever aside from the insta-kill, you don't like seeing that. Because this is just a huge time sink right now.
Ooh, and HighRo on the left manages to land a zap to end this horrible, horrible encounter. Because apparently iguanas know how to... Oh, and he runs into another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, the fighter's down for Spellzapp. At this point, unless the iguana rolled real low for health, I don't think Spellzapp's gonna make it.
Wow, that is 4 iguanas HighRo has ran into, and he's actually managed to zap every single one. Meanwhile, Spellzapp couldn't land a single one, and he's gonna take a wipe.
I think he used his last Spellzapp on a previous iguana encounter.
Alright, so Spellzapp did save after going to Matoya's. The problem is, this encounter table that he's on is iguana, iguana, iguana.
Oh.
Now I'm kind of interesting that HighRo went left and is going to check the dwarf, more money, followed by an iron armor. Okay, that's not bad. Early armor for your fighter. That's good. Spellzapp, I think, is going to go right and going to go to Crescent first. So we'll see our first real divergence on town exploring.
Okay, yeah, he is. He's riding on one zap charge since leaving Matoya. Spellzapp has.
Okay, yeah, that's really hard. No, they didn't. Drosy in chat, no. They did not start with the canoe. The kind princess, after saving her, she gave the canoe.
Yeah, the king gave the canoes. Sarah gave the cube.
You're right.
And there's Onrak. Oh boy, there is Sea Shrine access right there.
Now, as I pointed out, myself, I would do this. I would go in there and I would go to mermaids just because. I would see what they have early and see if I can make that dive or try and get some experience off of them.
And we might be seeing it. Yes, HighRo is taking the dive. Let's see how far he can go, because when you're this low level, these enemies do not mess around.
Now, Gersharks aren't the easiest thing to land spells on. If I remember correctly, they have pretty high, or decent high, magic defense. So Zap's probably going to have a hard time. And look, Volcanic has jinxed HighRo at the start.
Although Zap's doing good work. Wow, took out all of them. Very nice.
Okay, I have never seen a Zap work that good.
No complaints.
The fourth dimension right there. Yeah, the master of the fourth dimension. I think that's what I'm going to start calling him now. And that was.
And it looks like Spellzapp is going back left side.
And that was all trademarked by Asher. Well, E-Tap also kind of went into that too. So thank you for that, guys. I'm going to now take that. While HighRo, unfortunately, is running into Gersharks that don't want to get zapped in the fourth dimension, and his life caster is low health.
But he does have high heal potions, so he's able to recover pretty quickly.
Ghosts could be deadly, though undead have a decent chance of being zapped too. They generally...
Ooh, ouch. But hey, you got life 2 for days.
So Spellzapp did check, doesn't like the on-rack play, and is going to go check Crescent. Flame Sword pickup in Mermaids, okay. That at least gives our fighter something to swing.
Definitely a good sword for it. Not something you would want to take into Topher, but it's good for now. Ooh, black shirt.
Okay, black shirt cast ice too. That at least allows you to have a good chance of killing a lot of stuff in here now, compared to the Zap. Although we did see Zap wipe out
the power gauntlet. Okay, that is a lovely find.
And Crescent is level 2 Provoca. Nothing really in the white magic. Black magic, Quake, Warp is great.
Warp is really good, yeah.
You can do this mermaid dive now and then warp out instead of having to run out.
Yeah, Inf 2 on level 2, that's not bad either for the white magic. You know, HighRo finding Opal Shield and Flame Armor.
So the Invis 2 was good in the level 2. That's really good to have. He has 2 casters of it, but he's also going to have a white shirt too, so he can get those evade charges really quickly.
Alright, now HighRo just has to get out. Found some real good stuff. Want to make sure he can keep it. And waters have stun touch. That's not good. And the pirates have a chime. So once we're able to get out of the inner sea, that's full Mirage Sky Palace access.
It is, and I know Will Cleosis in here. Him and the Will Bloodworth, the Wilminati, would definitely be saying, "Go chime" as soon as you get the ship. I can already hear them whispering it in my ear, yelling it. Go to Mirage. Go to Mirage. But they have to get the ship first if they want to make that play.
Alright, so HighRo now heading over to the Crescent Lake area. So now the question is, where is Spellzapp going to go from here? Because the closest checks from here would be Ice and Volcano. And I can imagine that our runners probably would want to avoid Marsh Cave like the plague unless they absolutely have to.
So HighRo's going to see his news of Warp Level 2. Probably cry a little bit, the fact that he had to make that dive kind of dangerously. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, he made it, first try.
Giants over here are giving Spellzapp on the right a hard time. Alright, let's see. Looks like Spellzapp is going to go back to C. HighRo's going to take on Picky the Pirate and get his cool chime.
Yeah, with the black shirt, victory is assured, although the zap might take them all out. Nope. One survived. And there it goes.
If you didn't know about AoE spells like Zap and Quake and, you know, those instant death spells, they like to leave one enemy around just so you have to cast another spell.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe he did have a black shirt queued up, so that would have dealt with him anyway.
And we learned arachnids have cremate, so that makes marsh a little bit more dangerous if you run into those.
Also makes earth dangerous too, because they can come in packs of like 8.
Yeah, that's not very fun. Even with a ribbon, that adds up with 8 of them all casting it. And as Asher had pointed out, Zap is going to go marsh. That is incentivized location. It has one of our key items. Hopefully it will be the ship for Spellzapp, or a floater, which would be even better for him at this point. It'd give him a lead, since we don't know where HighRo is going.
And I noticed that Spellzapp did a hard reset and burned an encounter before going in. So already paying attention to the encounter table, which is more than I ever do.
Spellzapp gets lucky with lobsters. They generally hit hard at these lower levels, and they missed 3 hits in a row. So we'll take that. Hydra's on the left for HighRo. They generally roll high damage. But he escapes, and now we have more route divergence here. Spellzapp is in Marsh, going for the incentivized. HighRo might be going to Volcano, or might be doing Ice, since he has Warp. And Spellzapp runs into arachnids with cremate. Can he make it out?
Well, he zapped the arachnids, at least. And, ooh, Ice Sword. And I could see HighRo going to either Volcano or Ice, because with the black shirt, he should be able to handle the fire-aligned enemies easier, at least. And the Warp, as mentioned, will make checking the Ice incentive a lot simpler. But yep, he is going to Volcano first.
Okay. Runnable Wizards. He gets the bottle. Gaia is available. That is at Provoca. He can warp out now. Wizards rolled 2 hits, which are still plenty dangerous. HighRo has made it into the Guguru Volcano. Spells up on your right. Arachnids have cremate that can wipe his team. He's got 1 left. It's going to hurt a lot if it gets off. Alright, not too bad. He has 1 ribbon. Yep, he has 1 ribbon. And he also has Life 2, which is learnable for the White Mage only.
And for those just joining in, HighRo initially had a group of fighter red 2 black, but the moment he saw Life 2 in the second slot of level 1, he immediately reset and remade his party.
I think Spellzapp forgot he has Warp? Or did he use his cast because he's walking this out?
He had been using Quake, and that's on the same level as Warp, so I think he might have burned all his level 2 slots. Or enough that he wants to at least get back to the first floor and then use his last Warp. I didn't see how many spell charges he has left.
Alright, this time the zombies aren't hurting too badly as they were in the early game, which almost wiped Zap at Temple of Fiends. HighRo runs into the Giants, which gave Spellzapp a hard time earlier, almost basically caused him to reset out. He's checking a trap tile and see what that has there. That might have something good.
Yeah, this little Sidewinder chest here has burned some players before by skipping it. So we'll see what it has this time around. And fires don't seem to have that much for health.
They don't much seem to have attack either, because they've been whiffing attacks. Spellzapp on your right makes it out of Marsh. He's going to provoke her to turn in that bottle.
And it's a light axe. Not bad. They already have Harm 3, but having Harm 2s for free is never a bad thing.
Alright, Spellzapp is using that encounter table. He's doing that hard reset, save, hard reset for these long runs. You shouldn't see him take many battles on the entire way to provoke. HighRo picks up a cabin. Oh, he just resets out. He didn't really find much. The light axe isn't that great. It's good, but it's not like something that's worthy of a trap tile.
Right. Or just worthy of walking out on from deep in Volcano 2.
And just like that, katana find. That's good for money if we need it. Iron bracelet, that's not much. As I said, Spellzapp has now quickly made it from Marsh, walked all the way to Old Provoca, which is new Gaia. Wizard Staff is good if you want to take on Carrie. She's weak against status effects.
And the armory, yeah, it does heal staff, wizard staff, katana. All in all, it's not the best we've seen from the armory. Meanwhile, let's see what the fairy has in Gaia, and it is the crown.
I'm okay with that.
So I fear that this is going to lead Spellzapp to walk all the way back to the west to go turn that in, and it looks like he's about to do just that.
And we did miss on the left. Oh, HighRo. 4 peds. These are really good experience, but they are hitting hard.
And they're ambushing too.
Yeah, they ambushed and targeted the back line of HighRo's team. Quake comes out. 2 dead. Okay, 2 dead to start. Ooh, 2. Come on, black shirt. Uh-oh, he's in trouble here.
And it looked like he was just going back in to grab that pro cape.
Alright, black shirt finish off the peds. He gets 1200 experience. Great experience at these low levels. That's the reason why they're so good to take early on. Spellzapp went back for the defense sword. That casts Ruse, so that's an important weapon to have for your knight or anybody that you really want to protect against attacks.
And in a pinch, it's not a bad weapon in its own right.
I mean, it's not like the game changer, you know? It's kind of like the game the modifier, you know?
Yeah, though I think we had seen an ice sword, though I forget where that was. I think that was in Marsh, wasn't it?
What was that?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, Spellzapp did get an ice sword out of Marsh, so ice sword defense. I'd have to look it up to see which one's better stat-wise at this point.
HighRo makes it out, gets the pro cape. Now, the reason why he probably went back for that pro cape, as Spellzapp's about to go talk to our nice, kindly man, he gives us the slab, which we have no access to for a turn-in, so it's kind of a dead end at this point. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Who's this Astos character? I thought he was a nice, kindly old king.
Well, you know, appearances can be deceiving. Oh, and apparently the Grahams have fast as well.
So this is going to be should be a decently easy fight of sorts. He's got to hope for an instant kill from one of his things. Ice Sword might be able to do it.
Yeah, I want to
Astos-
say Astos has some good magic defense, so the zaps and such probably aren't as likely to hit.
Yeah, that is the only problem. He has 2 hits, 121 crits. See you later, mean Astos King person you. I wanted to be meaner to him, but he was the kindly old king that gave us a slab. A giant tombstone that we can't even read properly. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, eventually we'll find someone who can teach us the language.
Alright, so Spellzapp didn't check the northern part, or the top floor of Marsh.
No.
HighRo is making his way back. I'm thinking Spellzapp, if he saves here, is going to make a dive into Sea Shrine. Going to check out the mermaids. Here he goes. HighRo is going to go to Marsh, and then he's going to probably do that long quest line, because he doesn't want to go to Ice Cave. Question in chat by... So, the Black Mage is our captain this week, as Spellzapp makes it into Sea Shrine. The Black Mage is our captain. He is our forest. The Thief has actually been banned out, which is why he has the red X. The bottle from Drosy was in Marsh Incentive that was protected from the wizard, the trap tile.
And that Gershark is proven to be a bit ambushy for Spellzapp. And there's our first loose item, the Adamant.
So this is the one chest that HighRo didn't check. He checked everything on the right-hand side to mermaids, except for the couple off in the wings chests that were on the way to mermaids. And he kind of missed this chest, but I don't blame him because you're not on your way to Kraken at that point, so you kind of forget about it.
Yeah. So I would expect Hierophilus to check that on the way to Kraken, but let's see what it turns into here. As Hierophilus is heading for the first floor of Sky, and it's the floater. Oh dear. Advantage Spellzapp.
And he's talking to the hooray dwarf. Hooray!
Yeah, that's worthy of a hooray for sure.
Alright, so Spellzapp is definitely in the lead here. HighRo's, he's up north. He got hit by Cremate, but he's high enough levels now where Cremate's not going to do, it's not going to kill you with only one arachnid casting it. He's going north. Spellzapp hasn't checked it, so we're going to see some fresh chests. Spellzapp is obviously going for the floater on the right, so he's going to be in the air. He's going to have a lot of exploring done, while HighRo might not check that chest right away, or for a good while.
The first chest for Hierophilus, I don't think had much. As soon as the bat gets out of the way, you can see the rest of it. Oh, and Spellzapp heading to Gaia first. And the top of Marsh has nothing.
Alright, so that was a bust for HighRo. He's going to go down, hopefully get away from the wizards. He's going to get his bottle. He'll probably make that long quest chain and take on the kindly old king again.
And so Gaia turned into Crescent Lake, and we have really cheap pro rings for sale. Wow, 4,000.
Yeah, pro rings for 4,000, protects you from instant death, and also gives you absorb. So it's a very good glove slot.
I think I saw Soft, I saw X-Fur, Ace 3, Lit 2. Not the best for level 6.
We got a bunch of guys running around in the old retirement home here. Bottle pickup on HighRo. He managed to get out. He's going to warp out. And
there's the ship. Oh, wow. Landlocked ship. Interesting. Well, at least we know HighRo won't get sidetracked by that if he happens to dive ice or something.
All right, so where's he gonna go?
He's checking Lefane. Wow.
I don't blame him. He does have that long run on the second encounter, so this shouldn't take very long. It'll probably take him one more reset, and he'll get there. HighRo's full clearing marsh. I mean, he's got to at this point. He doesn't have ship. He doesn't have floater.
And Lefane is Elflands, and there's level 3 nuke. So there's our high firepower for the seed. What do we have for white magic? Ooh, Cure 4. Very nice.
Mute and anti-mute.
Does that mean there's only 2 spells in that spell in level 3 then? Since those ones cancel each other out, and exit at 4.
And that is learnable by the Red Wizard too, once he gets class promoted.
Quad X and Temper at level 4 for black magic.
That is a very good Elflin thing. Just with Quad X and Temper there, and then you have the important nuke, which obviously your red mage and your black mage can learn now. Now we have clear spells, and HighRo made it out of Marsh. We're a little behind, sorry about that. That's going to allow you, or he's going to be making this long quest line journey. He's got to go to Provoca, then from Provoca he's going all the way back to the Northwest Castle to take on to talk to our kindly old king. So at this point, Melee, Spellzapp is in the lead. Not by much, but he's in the lead by a good amount since he's in the air already. HighRo just needs to check that one chest. Where do you go with Spellzapp now? Do you check an incentivized location? You have Warp. Do you go to Ordeals? Do you go to Ice Cave? Or do you check maybe On-Rack into Waterfall?
Well, one thing he hasn't checked yet is Sarda. I would definitely check Sarda, see what free item I get there. I probably would go check On-Rack and Waterfall, mostly because I already have Warp and can just get out quickly once I reach the end of it.
And I should also mention he does have the slab, so if he finds Melman, he can get that translated and go to Lefane, which we have not found yet.
Yep, the only 2 towns we haven't checked are Vanilla, Melman, and On-Rack, so that has to be where Melman and Lefane are. We just don't know which one's which yet.
And if you're paying attention on the right, it looks like Spellzapp is going to kill off the white mage and is going to go with a 3-man party.
Interesting decision.
I mean, I guess I kind of understand it, since the white mage really isn't going to provide a whole lot. He's already got level 1 life.
Yeah.
And he's got Invis 2 at level 2.
Me being me, I probably would want to wait until I had like 9 charges at level 1 just to be on the safe side, but that's me. And that's why my record is not as good as our runners here.
I'm going to point out a couple more people in chat while HighRo makes his journey to the kindly old king to turn in the crown. Welcome, Lyra. And I believe I've seen a couple other people. Lord of the Synth. Team Vorpal sometimes. You're either Team Vorpal all the time or Team Vorpal never, okay?
Such extremism. Anyway, let's see where Spellzapp decides to go from here. Because this was definitely, even with that hero walk on early in the encounter table, that's not a short trip. Though hopefully he won't have a reason to go back there again.
And apparently Falconic is some sort of psychic, knows that Spellzapp is going to Sarda first.
Well, it's not a hard thing to predict, really. And Sarda has the ruby. Okay, then.
Lazy Sarda, okay. We have the lazy dwarves, and now we have the lazy Sarda. Is he not going to check the... You're not going to feed the Titan Spellzapp? You are just a bully. And on your left, HighRo picked up a bunch of gold bracelets off of the katana cell. So that is great armor early on for all of his casters.
I didn't even notice that gold bracelets were at Cornerian. Yep, the question in chat, the ribbon, along with the white shirt, came from Matoria's cave. That ribbon could be one of the loose items. The other one was the adamant in Sea Shrine that Spellzapp found. The ribbon in Matoria's cave could be the incentivized one. Maybe it's not. Well, we don't know that yet.
Question chat, where was the floater this time? It was actually loose adamant in the Sea Shrine floor 1. On the left-hand side, there's a chest that's just hanging out in this one little room. It's actually kind of a medium-sized room. And HighRo missed it, went to the mermaid side, and Spellzapp happened to go there first, and he found it instantly, and he got the floater. And our kindly king here says, here, take this slab, and then he engages us, and his name is Astos now. Again?
Yeah, meanwhile, Spellzapp is working his way through Ice Cave. See what the incentivized item is here. The question was, were mermaids stacked? I mean, we had, I think we had power gauntlets, we had flame armor, opal shield.
So HighRo now realizes that entire quest chain that he got a bunch of exercise in, traveling the entire continent, was a waste of time.
Oh.
Sorcerers with glare.
Oh dear. So sorcerers are as deadly as they normally are, they just decide to use a different method this time.
HighRo...
Why attack when they can just look at you funny and then you keel over?
Right? And on the right, Spellzapp learns that wraiths and eye mages are unrunnable. That formation is unrunnable, so that could cause troubles if they roll any sort of deadly spells, since we only have one ribbon, and his life caster is actually being damned or killed off.
Which, to me, feels like a weird decision, but to each their own. We'll see how well it pans out. And we have the herb in Ice Cave. And it looks like Hierophilos might be heading over to Ice Cave himself, which is unfortunate considering we know where progression is.
Yeah, I don't blame him for it. I know he's terrified of it. Like I said, I think it's because he is... He's not in the mindset of going towards Kraken, so he didn't check that chest while clearing, so he kind of forgot about it.
And it's... In my thought, it's... Unless I was going diving left side, I probably wouldn't have checked that chest either. It's just unfortunate that happens to be where what's ultimately our most important incentivized item is.
Well, now somebody had said that he might not he might not be that far behind for it. The problem is Spellzapp has level 3 nuke. HighRo is coming in with Zap and Zap.
He does have Harm 3, which will help against that undead pack. Yeah, there's a Bane Sword for Spellzapp.
Okay, wooden staff, that's, well, I guess not very good.
No, not really. Oh, well, Wraiths have slow.
So that basically just slows you. I mean, it just slows you down from completing Ice Cave. Doesn't actually do anything. Yay.
And they can snort as well.
Oh, good.
And it does. And they don't go down to. Oh, they have glance too. That's not something you want to see. And it takes multiple harm 3s to take him down as well.
Alright, so far, nothing too dangerous. We have a glance. Looks like there's a sleep touch, I believe. Either it was on the cockatrices or the mummies. So nothing too dangerous. I mean, at least for HighRo with the glance, you know, if it's an instant kill spell, he's got the life 2 charges. Spellzapp, it's a little more deadly since he doesn't have a life spell.
Oh, there's a free gold bracelet for Spellzapp.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't buy the gold bracelets like what HighRo did with the katanas, because Spellzapp didn't go to... Was Katana in Mermaids? I think that's where he got the money from.
I think so, yeah.
To point out in chat, it's one of those things that Spellzapp and I have. We name each other characters and we try and kill them off as quickly as possible. But then it turns out that the people that we try to kill off of, you know, in my case, when I kill off Spellzapp, he ends to be the MVP on my team, and I end up doing the same thing on his team.
And HighRo getting the herb. Got an ice shield as well. That's pretty good, especially when combined with the flame armor.
Yeah, I would almost want to put that ribbon on the life caster at this point. The fighter's not really going to take a whole lot of damage from most spells. Spellzapp turns in the herb, gets the crystal.
And HighRo's testing out the eye fight. Doesn't look too strong either. Look like we're going to be seeing an eye grind here.
Spellzapp's turning in the crystal while... Oh, it's the tail. That's big.
Yes, definitely.
We got class promotion now.
And since Spellzapp hasn't checked Cardia Isles yet, he can route that in along with it.
If he does it right, you can do a whole lot of things up here now. Now, Wraiths are giving him a hard time. We saw a glance that went on the fighter. That's going to be blocked because he has ribbon. He's got Cardia, he's got Ordeals, he's got Mirage, he has On-Rack and Waterfall. He's got so much to do on this north side that after promotion, he can just go crazy, get that experience, get those early level spell casts that he needs on his knight, and he's going to be rocking here. And the longer HighRo does not check that chest in C4 level 1, he's going to fall more. He's going to fall farther and farther behind exponentially.
And it's a shame that of all things is what's making the difference in this race. Because that's really not HighRo fault. It's not like it was an obvious check to make. It's just one that Spellzapp happened to do and HighRo has not.
Once again, I'd like to welcome everybody to Speed Gaming 2. This is round 5, opening match of the 2019 Spring Final Fantasy Tournament. These two are battling for a chance to make it into, they've already made it into the last qualifying race, which is a battle of all 2 and 3 racers. The winner of all those racers will then, the winner of that match, of all those 2 and 3 runners, will be able to take place in the play-in race, and that will take about 5 to 6 runners of them that will actually be allowed into the bracket.
Yep, so both HighRo and Spellzapp, they both can still make it into the bracket stage. It's just the winner of this race will have a shorter path to it.
And a lot easier path. When you have to win out of, maybe 5 to 8 other runners compared to, being top 5 or 6, Fade is in the 3rd slot.
Fade, I want to say that is red learnable. And there's our Lit 3 and Fire 3. I believe Ice 3 was in level 6, and so at least we know where our high-end attack magic is now.
So this is a very important... Oh, and Spellzapp runs into pirates in Melmon. The city of Melmon is no longer safe.
No, it is not. Yep, it's a flag that is referred to as Zozo Melmon in reference to Final Fantasy VI. The kind of encounters you see in here are the pirates. There's, like, I want to say the Wraith Image Pack can be seen here, and various other undead.
Now, I didn't actually see. This is Anrak that he went to, right? So this is Old Anrak, that is Melmon. This allows him to translate the slab. He now knows Old Melmon is Lefane, so he can go south if he wants, do the slab turn-in if he wants, before he goes and dives ordeals. But he's going to probably do Waterfall first. He has a warp.
Yep, and it's right here. He might as well do both while he's in the area.
Exactly. And Fade was level the 3rd slot, right?
Fade, yes.
Alright, so that is not Red Wizard learnable.
Really? Oh, I thought it was.
No, they Red Wizard can learn that in 1st and 2nd slot on the white magic side.
Ah.
So Spellzapp is going to go into Waterfalls. You see HighRo is almost done clearing out Ice Cave. I'm assuming he's going to go back to Sea Shrine because he's going to realize that that's where it's at. Or he's going to dive into Volcano, kill Carrie, and then realize that he's got to go back to Sea Shrine to find it.
One good thing is that we hadn't found the key, so there's without the key, which we still haven't found yet, just in general, and the ship that we now know is in Vanilla Gaia. We know those won't be leading HighRo Fellows astray. So the downside is the herb walking over to get the crystal, walking back around to get the tail. That is going to be a bit of a time kill.
So Spellzapp hits the trap tile. He makes it out, and the nice robot there, just standing there waiting for Spellzapp to get done with his combat, gives him the rod, opens up Lich in the Earth Cave.
And the chests have a whole lot of nothing.
I tell you, that robot guy, really nice. He waits until Spellzapp gets out of combat, he doesn't move away, just kind of hangs out there, so Spellzapp just has to turn right and talk to him.
An interesting decision. Actually equips the Bane Sword to the Red Wizard.
I'm trying to think of what does he have? He has Ice Sword, he has a Defense Sword.
He has the defense. The Knight's using defense, and the Red Wizard's using Bane. The Ice Sword is currently unequipped. And Spellzapp is heading for ordeals.
Okay, so Spellzapp going to ordeals. I like it. He's got the warp charges. He can make this quick. Plus there's chest on the way, that's the important part I really like about ordeals is all the chests are on the way. You don't have to go out of your way at all. Literally, once you get through all the teleporters, you just you just boom, 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 chests are right on your way.
Mm-hmm. So, the items that can be here in ordeals, the list is actually rather short right now. So I think the only key items we have left are the TNT, the loot, and maybe a ribbon. We've already found one. It could have been the incentivized. We don't know that yet. So, in all likelihood, unless a TNT is loose, it's probably going to be here and lead to either the loot or that second ribbon.
We also have the slab turn-in that hasn't been done either.
Oh yeah, that's true. So by that logic, that means I think that ribbon we found actually might have been the incentivized one.
Now I'm curious where. Yeah, that's true. I'm curious where HighRo is going at this point.
Going to Matoya to turn in the crystal.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the herb to crystal. So he's still thinking that this is going to lead to it, but unfortunately he's going to get there, and Matoya's going to pull his tail, and he's going to realize that he was led on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, that's never. You never want to see that. Be walking all the way around the continent just for largely something you can't even take advantage of right now.
Spellzapp, unfortunately, doesn't have any more life charges at this point. I would assume he would reset at this point. I don't know how many. He just gained 1 level, so maybe not. HighRo did get the tail. I think he reset out. He now knows Sea Shrine has his progression.
And he's going the right way.
And on your right, Spellzapp made it through the teleporters. So he's going to be checking chests and get his incentivized key item that's here.
So it's nice that assuming he made it back to Onrak real quick, so he must have reset out. So that's a nice little time save there. And he finds the adamant and is none too happy about it.
He is definitely not. Yeah, you can hear that. Yeah. He checked that chest a couple times, made sure to show us all his frustration. We totally understand it. That is not...
Like there of all places! And, there's our Vorpal.
The game changer and our explosive finds back to back. Let me tell you, TNT and the Vorpal. So Nuke takes care of the zombie dragon trap tile. Will he take a couple more fights? No, he says he's out.
Yep, and HighRo gets that floater.
Will we hear a hooray dwarf? No, he's in a hurry. He's like, I'm behind, I gotta go.
Yeah, I think he's feeling a little disgruntled at the moment. Ooh, the Catman at Fire 3. Question in the chat, is this pre-recorded? No, this is live. Alright, so where's Spellzapp going? He's probably heading to Vanilla Melman to turn in the slab. Or, nope, he's turning in the TNT.
He sure is. We're going to see what this explosive find gives us here.
Well, like I said, this either has to be the loot or the ribbon, and the other will be in Lafane unless I miss something. Or the key. I forgot about the key.
Yeah, that is kind of important. That allows us to actually finish the game. It is one of the key items that we need to finish the game. Ironically, in the basic game of this, you get the key, and that's how you make your way through it. Once we randomized it, we found out that after going through the portal to go back 2,000 years, the door is actually locked. So you need the Mystic Key to make your way into Chaos's inner sanctum.
Where's Spellzapp going? He's going into Mirage. Okay. Or not. Okay. Healing up first. So, yeah, so Lafane still has a key item. So at this point, it has to be either the loot or a ribbon. If it's a ribbon, that means that loot is our second loose item, and that can be anywhere.
Yay for anywhere. It means we're going to be searching for chests here, but he might get lucky here. I like this because a lot of the chests are on the way. High experience, yielding enemies.
Yeah, honestly, before making this play, I would have turned in the slab. Since it's already been translated, and by process of elimination, we know where Lefane is. It's not that long a check to make, especially with the airship. I would have checked that just for peace of mind as to whether or not that's actually where the loot is or not.
So HighRo's in the air now. He's playing catch up. You know he's behind. Spellzapp is making the Mirage play, going into the floating castle. The only thing is, Spellzapp did not turn in he did not talk to the Lefanish people after translating the slab and learning their language, so he doesn't know the information behind that. Just to quick introduce everybody, we're about 56 minutes in. This is a very important match. My name is Dangwoo. My broadcast partner is Melee Wizard. Our tracker is the Hangry Canuck. He's doing all that stuff in the background, making sure to keep us on our toes. So we appreciate you back there. You guys in chat, thank you. I see Hypes Nova. Wilkliosis has been very vocal. Falconic, Mr. Versetti. I've seen Asher in there. I mean, there's tons of people in there. I'm sorry if I didn't call you guys out, but thank you for hanging out with us.
Alright, Spellzapp checking the second floor of Mirage. Not seeing much yet. Decent bit of money, and that's about it.
Now, HighRo here could check the Titan's chest here, which he's going to.
Okay.
If this holds the loot, this at least gives him an advantage of sorts. This allows him to play catch-up. So we're hoping for a loot here for HighRo if possible.
Nope. The best thing there was about 27,000.
And as I had alluded to, Spellzapp is trying to make his way up into the Sky Castle. I had mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'll do it again. These two are battling their way. The winner will go for the play-in race. The top 5-6 players of a 14-man race will move on into the bracket play. The loser will have to go into the last chance qualifier, and they have to win against all the other 2 and 3 runners. They have to win against all other 2 and 3 runners to make it into the play-in race. So you don't want to lose. Medusa's with Poison Touch. So we have a touch spell. Wilkliosis, your PTSD is okay. You're okay.
Alright, so let's see what kind of if nothing else, Poison Touch is also a bit of a drain on resources because in a little bit of time, because you're having to you're either using up HP by walking around poisoned, or you're spending time healing it. And depending on how common these Medusas are, both in Sky Palace and in the Earth floor of Temple of TOFR, that can add up if they show up in droves.
Spellzapp's checking the first floor. Yeah, you're right. The first side, or the left side of Sky Castle. Nothing so far. HighRo is checking out Onrak, which is Melmon. He'll be able to translate that slab. He'll also get the rod from the waterfall when he goes there.
Yeah, but unrunnable Ankilo. Oh dear. Nope. That's not a pleasant sight.
Now, as some people have pointed out, if HighRo translates it, does the waterfall, turns that in, depending on what spells.
Oh wow! There's the loot. It turned out to be loose after all, so we know that there'll be a ribbon at Lefane. Oh wow! Spellzapp is just making all of the right all the right decisions here.
And it's interesting, some people say that runners sometimes have, they're in tune with the seed. I would definitely say Spellzapp is in tune with this seed. He's made every play, essentially, that has given him an exponential lead that just keeps growing.
And he's still checking chests, though.
Well, he doesn't have Masa. He's not
There's our third ribbon, since we know where the second one is.
He's not much. He will use the Vorpal, but it's not his go-to. He would rather have a Masa over everything else. That's just him. So he's probably looking for that. Probably looking for a Power Bonk.
Yeah, that was in Mermaids.
But
we know that, but he doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is more or less greed chest at this point and gaining some experience, because he's in go mode, but he's not really level go mode. And there's an Excalibur, so...
In the vanilla adamant chest, what?
So for Excal, he's already 18, 19. He's got the 4 hits with Excalibur. I mean, you're in a pretty good spot with Excalibur at this point.
And there's the Massmune. Oh, man. The eye is loaded today.
At this point, I'm surprised he's still checking floors, unless he's trying to get to 24 for Masa. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing at this point anymore, because, you know, he's so in tune with this run right now. He's finding everything right now. Well done, Spellzapp.
Well, and on some level... Well, I'd say the black shirt was in Marsh, I believe. No, the black shirt was in Shrine as well.
Yes, it was in... Yeah, it was in the Mermaids and Slab chest, I believe, back in the original. And as in point out in chat by Felconic, I mean, I would take fights as I go, but I'd stop checking chests at this point.
Yeah, I think Spellzapp not checking that last room, so he's just moving on.
Now it's interesting. He's not really leveling the or he's not healing that black mage. So I don't know if he's going to kill him off.
Interesting thought there.
HighRo on your left finally made it through. Got his rod from the robot, so he warps out. He's a little bit behind. He's not too far behind technically, but he still has to find that loose loot that's in Sky Floor 1 on the right-hand side in that room. Let's get some Bless RNGs for our favorite robot chicken here.
And reviving you. Not healing you, though.
And he's not taking red Hydras. I'm not sure why he's not taking the red Hydra fights. They're good experience, and they generally die very quickly. I'm kind of surprised by that. So we're going to see our first battle of Tiamat. Looks like he's in. We
got double dose of Brack.
Both Bracks ineffective, but Tiamat says, "You're trying to break me into pieces. Let me almost one-shot your red wizard that you're trying to level up." He's gonna go Brack again.
I think that was a nuke that time. Or, well, the Brack on the red wizard at least.
Slow comes out. The knight is slowed, so he's not gonna have those extra hits. Brack, okay. Cure 4 on the red wizard. Excalibur is not going to hit very much. He has been slowed. This knight is going to be kind of, well, useless.
Oh, they're breaking out the Bane Sword.
You kind of have to at this point. That slow is going to make him, it's going to make it really hard. Invis 2 comes out. He has about 3 Invis.
Hold goes off on the knight.
Another Invis. That is 4 Invis 2s down for Spellzapp. Bane Sword comes out.
Bane Sword takes him down. Poison Smoke.
Channels his Dragon Slayer Wilcleosis, Bane Swords Tiamat. Let's see if he goes for the quad instant kills on all the fiends. One-ups Wilcleosis. I believe in him.
Okay, so HighRo did get the ribbon out of Lefane.
HighRo's about to find Nuke in level 3. He's going to be ecstatic. Unfortunately, he's not doing any progression right now, but this is very important. Nuke and Temper, level 3 Nuke, level 4 Temper.
Yeah, gaining resources, longevity, and all that good stuff. Yeah, Spellzapp checking that one chest and moving on.
Now, some of you might ask, why did Spellzapp check that chest? Well, the wall along all doors is free. What I mean by that is it does not move your encounter steps at all. So you can walk along that bottom line of where the doors are and you won't get any encounters. So that chest is free. Should also mention that each of these lava tiles does the same thing. Yes, you get hurt for 1 damage for every time you make a step on the lava tiles, but it doesn't move your encounters. So Spellzapp is going go mode. He's not going to stop. I don't really think he needs Power Bonk at this point. He's got a bunch of temper charges. He's going to check a couple of these greed chests on his way. He's going to go.
Yeah, well, you say he doesn't need Power Bonk, but who knows what kind of nasty things Topher might have lying in wait for our runners here.
Yeah, it's true. We're about to see Carrie, the Fiend of Fire, but the thing of it is I would rather take the risk at this point if it allows me, if it's an easy Temple of Fiends Revisited, if I don't have to play in that last qualifying race. I'd rather take that chance and put myself in a good spot. Nuke comes out, 154 on Carrie, Excalibur Swing, 288. Got about 400 damage, 194, so we're about 600 damage. Carrie is at original game HP, still has not died. Another swing, 167. Carrie is down, so that's 2 orbs lit for Spellzapp. He's in go mode, so he can do Kraken, who is in the original Elflin, or he can do Lich, who is in Earth Cave.
Yeah, Spellzapp going and shoring up some of those magic resources.
And he buys the most important spell, Lamp, that cures the status effect Dark. So I have a very important role on Spellzapp's team. If his Knight gets Darked, I will be able to cast Lamp, and his Knight will be able to see again. Hooray! I know we've talked a lot about Spellzapp. He's done a lot of the progression right as of late, just because HighRo was getting a lot of his spells and stuff like that. He's gone to Ordeals now. Ordeals has the explosive TNT, plus it has, what was the other item? The Game Changer. Who could forget that?
Yep, the Vorpal was there.
And the TNT leads to the key, so he needs the key. So this is a good spot where he's going at this point.
Mm-hmm. And he's got plenty of warp charges, so getting through here should not take long.
Now, somebody points out that it's a cheap Oxyale. The reason why it's cheap Oxyale is in Corneria, it is, I think, a half. The key vendor item is about half off. Can be about half off. And then if it's at Provoca, it is 25% off, I believe, is how it's coded right now.
I did not know that. But that wouldn't have stopped it, even at half price, that wouldn't have stopped it from being like 30k.
True, but it's there just to kind of help out. HighRo picks up the game changer. He's gonna change it out. Yep, there he goes.
Yep, equipping it to the knight.
He's also going with a 3-man strat, I believe. Or is he still rocking out 4?
No, he's got all 4.
Okay, so he's still got all 4. Spellzapp is going left. He's going up to Kraken, the Fiend of Water. We'll be able to see what kind of shenanigans she's up to. Is she going to be easy? Is she going to be hard? Will she allow HighRo back into the fight?
And Spellzapp, skipping one of these chests, but checking the other.
So
And it's checking the one. An extra soft potion's never a bad thing.
Shark and a Big Eye. He's going to take this fight. These are really good experience on the right for Spellzapp. It's a good idea to take these. You need the levels. If you're going to go Masa, you need level 24 with your knight to get the 5 hits. HighRo is just trying to get back to his floater. Sorry for interrupting on that.
Spellzapp is on the Kraken floor. We've got lobsters, and yeah, they're hitting about as hard as they usually do.
Spellzapp has something against the White Wizard. Kills him again.
Ooh, unrunnable Tyro for HighRo.
If you're a vegetarian, please look away. HighRo's about to eat some meat. Well cooked with Tyro meat. Yummy.
Yeah, I, for one, am kind of... I don't eat steak, but I could always sell it to people who do.
Hashtag I'm making money off of steak. Alright, we're about to see our Kraken fight.
Alright.
He's gonna heal up Dang, his white mage, who's gonna be the sacrificial meat shield. He's not even gonna heal him, it looks like. How generous of him. HighRo's going in the right direction on your left. Invis 2 gets casted on the right for a Spellzapp. HighRo, if he checks Sky 1, will be able to get the loose loot in Sky Castle. Nuke for 226, another nuke. 117, Kraken is a glass fiend, goes down quickly. That is number 3.
The only thing we saw from it was hold.
Yeah, a hold that landed on the 1 HP white mage that was just there to look good. And then I'm looking good while face down taking a dirt nap. Thanks, Spellzapp.
Well, hey, in my last race, I had Dan, my thief, for most of the way through. Brought him back up for chaos, and he survived. If it can happen to a thief, it can happen to you.
Pointing out from chat, the Boogity Boo says you don't nuke your steak, need to roast it with fire. Thank you. Zer's Light says, selling Tyro steaks only lightly radiated with nuclears.
Oh, Groger's, ooh, they're packing with the insta-kills, Rub and Quad X.
A future site pointing out that I'm the MVP on boss fights, but apparently on the random encounters I just die. So that's a little unfortunate for me, but you know, I'm the MVP on boss fights. I'll take it.
Hierophilus checking the chests in Mirage, not really finding a heck of a lot. We'll see how thorough he is checking Sky.
So Spellzapp's going to run into his first speed bump of sorts. And when I mean by speed bump, literally he's going to run into this insect known as Vampire and probably one-shot him. Well,
Yep.
There he goes.
Yep, there we go.
Checks the chest, gets a little extra gold for his insect killing there. The bug squash. Alright, now HighRo has a very important thing here. He needs to check the right-hand side of the Sky Castle when he warps in. And the loose loot is there.
Not to mention the treasure trove on the second floor, but the loot is the important thing.
Yeah, the loot's the important thing. He does have Vorpal, so, I mean, yeah, the Moss and Excalibur are nice, but right now, loot is the most important. HighRo goes left. There wasn't much there, so he'll probably warp out and check the right-hand side. Gurmedusas have Poison Touch. Nothing too deadly. Nightmare and Evil Men, we didn't really see them on Spellzapp's side, but shouldn't be too much with new casts.
Nah. Uh-oh. Got it. We got an Arachnid pack, but he's able to get away.
And Falconic points out Manticores you shouldn't run from. It is a very good point. They are a very good source of experience. If I had to guess, this guy Lich will probably get one rounded.
Yep, there he goes.
He took about 700 damage before dying. HighRo's going to get his loot. It's going to be 3, 2, 1. There it is.
Yep.
He just needs to find the key and he'll be in go mode. He is hoping that Temple of Fiends is going to be a real tough for Spellzapp. Now all that does is it puts him in a chance of winning. The problem is, by the time he gets the Temple of Fiends revisited, Spellzapp may already have 1 or 2 attempts in, and he's going to know a lot of the stuff going on.
And Hierophilus is skipping. He feels he's in go mode. He skipped all the chests on the second floor. That's... I don't blame him for it, but that's definitely an unfortunate move there.
Now Spellzapp does a little greed check of Northwest Castle. Let's get some Bless RNGs. Looks like we got Red Hydras off the start. He might be with Spellzapp's encounter table again.
Which, if that's the case, we will not be seeing Warmech today.
We're gonna hope, though. We want to see that our Robot Lord Warmech in here. The long run, more Red Hydras.
So to kind of bring the point home about how much of an advantage Spellzapp had finding that floater as early as he did, Spellzapp has lit all 4 orbs. HighRo is about to light his first.
Yeah, the early nuke, the early floater, which led to nuke, and Elflin allowed him to grow his lead. Nuke allows you to do that very well.
Ooh, there's a dragon armor.
All right, our knight now actually has a chance of taking some hits.
And the Opal shield
Opal,
too.
Yep. HighRo on your left is taking on Tia. The fast comes off. Power bonk. Invis 2, great turn order here. Great turn order. Oh, and a white shirt. Wow.
Yep. Double in 2. Nice.
Slow comes out. Misses the knight, so this is great for HighRo. He's going to be attacking at this point.
Going all out with nukes, fades, and that's a Vorpal that's being used right now, yeah.
Roll from 1 nuke, 350. 180 from a fade, a 187 from a nuke. Vorpal hits for 37?
38.
You know, he I don't know. 238 on 1 nuke. Another nuke for 280. Oh my gosh, this Tiamat's got some health. 185, Dark comes out. Poor white and black mage have darkness on them. I don't know how they're going to hit that boss. Spellzapp on your right has entered Temple of Fiends Revisited, found some gas dragons, great experience. Lit 2 on your left from Tiamat 2, not going to do a lot of damage.
Gasties have Thunder.
Okay, well, Thunder's a big deal, but if you missed it on the left, HighRo did kill the Tiamat with Vorpal for 300. So his first orb is done. He just has to turn in that TNT to get the key. Spellzapp is in Temple of Fiends Revisited, the second floor. At about 120, I'll say, just because of that fight and some other stuff that he was doing. About 120. For Wilkliosis, Spellzapp did pick up Lamp. It is level 2 magic, I believe. So Spellzapp did get it on his white mage.
Yeah, but the white mage can't use it if he's dead.
HighRo is in Volcano. I believe he's in no mode. He's just going to do this, assuming that...
Assuming he remembers to turn in that TNT.
So HighRo is going to go straight for carry. We know carry didn't have much. Very easy. Low HP... Or no, actually, I'm sorry. Carry actually had about 800 HP. Kraken had low HP, so he can make up ground. But the hard part is to get through these encounters to make... to play catch-up on Spellzapp at this point.
Yeah, and he definitely needs Topher to be a really nasty place in order to catch up at this point.
And that's just to give him a chance. That's one thing is the Topher's hard, but he has to get through it too.
And Spellzapp would have the advantage of knowledge.
And we get our first Fiend, the revisited fight. Nuke for 288. Tornado wipes out the Black Mage on Spellzapp's side, but Spellzapp swings the Excalibur and kills Lich 2.
Alright, let's see what he decides to do at this point. I believe he does have life charges on that Red Wizard. I don't remember how many, because I forget what level that was.
It is level 5 life. But he can also resurrect the White Wizard if multiple people died, and use the White Wizard's life 2 to heal 2.
Right.
Or to revive.
Oh, so HighRo finds a Mage Staff.
So HighRo's doing a couple of greed checks here. Looks like Spellzapp's not overly happy with his levels at the moment. Nuke looks like it was hoping to kind of kill a couple of them. And HighRo is killing off somebody. He was running through the lava tiles there.
We might end up seeing an Agama grind here. Or maybe not. That's a bit of selective healing right there.
So there you go. He rezzed his White Wizard. White Wizard used life 2 to bring back the Black Mage, saves heal potions, stuff like that. Carry 2 is generally the first quote-unquote challenge of the Temple of Fiends. Invis 2 off the start. That's a great turn order. We like to see that. Lit 2 doesn't kill the White Wizard. This is great. Nuke comes out. 156. Not a great roll. 390.
Wow. Carry got one rounded.
Okay. Hey, I gained a level from that. I'm happy.
Uh-oh.
Unrunnable seafood platter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nuke has taken him out, so we'll take that. Oh, well, of course, it manages to leave the 2.
Yeah, the sea snakes tend to be tankier than the lobster, so I'm not that surprised by that.
Asher points out, Spellzapp, I would agree. He's not being as passive nor as defensive on a lot of these fiends. If you let the fiends start casting stuff, that's when you can get in trouble real quickly. And a good example of this is this one right here. Kraken 2 herself. If you let her attack you too often, you're going to probably wipe. If you let her go through her spell lists, you're probably going to die because she's more than likely going to have something very dangerous. HighRo on your left is still grinding Agamas. 4 hits, 30 off of a crit. Ice 2 comes out. That's a free turn, essentially. Invis 2, so Kraken's going to hit a little bit less. Another Invis 2. So we got at least 2 evades stacks right now. This is great. A nuke cast off the start. 199.
199.
A free turn again. Fire 2. Not going to do a whole lot of damage compared to other spells she's going to have. So this is great. Spellzapp swings. 3 hits, 185. He didn't get a crit this time. And apparently Kraken had some evade there and dodged, even with the fasted night. Masa hits. 3 hits, 111.
Kraken has rub, and down goes Kraken.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad. A lot of free turns. Fire 2, Lit 2. Not going to do a whole lot. See you later, Kraken. Thanks for playing.
And switching the Mass Mune onto the Knight.
So, Tiamat 2. Oh, nope, he's got to get first. Okay, he got initiative. He got initiative. We're good.
I was about to say he didn't swap the White Wizard up, but now I see why. And, ooh, wow. Ouch.
Tiamat 2 basically destroyed his White Wizard, but he swung back 8 hits, 316, untempered Masa hit. So, not too bad against Tiamat. Couple nuke charges. We're about 300. Swirl comes out.
And, wow. Okay, Tiamat 2 goes down.
I look at chat for a split second and look back, and Tiamat died instantly. Okay, so we have some very low HP fiends here.
And I think the worst thing we've seen here was that swirl. No, I think Lich 2 did have Tornado.
Swirl is an elementless attack. I don't remember the exact damages behind it, but basically because it doesn't have an element behind it, you don't have protection even with a ribbon, so you have to rely upon your magic defense to resist it.
Alright, and HighRo facing off against Carry 1. Just going all out with the fades and nukes.
Yeah, at this point, you kind of got to. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on, but he is probably the biggest chaos cheerer right now. You know, the cheerleader. Invis 2, white shirt. Fasts the knight with a power bonk, or was that a defense? I didn't actually see what he did on the knight.
Yeah, that was a defense.
Okay, he did a defense, so that knight already has half of the stacks of evade right. Tempering. And I believe that was a swing from the Masa. 10 hits.
27.
This chaos is going to be very short in this world here.
And yet down goes the White Wizard.
Another Invis 2 cast.
And Chaos fasts himself. Oh dear. But
swings.
1356 and he's still up.
Masa hits for 1356. Holy. This chaos has got to be ending it. This next hit's got to end it. Here we go.
1493, down goes Chaos. And Spellzapp finishes first place with an official SRL time of 1:29.29. GG. And looks like HighRo promptly forfeited shortly thereafter. Good effort by HighRo, but just that one check and see shrine was what made the entire race.
It was, but I mean, it was also, you know, just making the call to dive, you know, into the fiends. He didn't play around with the fiends. He just went all out. You didn't see any of the spell casts that were really bad, like nuke or nuclear and stuff like that. He didn't give them any chances. He said, "I'm going to attack very quickly, and I'm going to kill you before you can do anything dangerous to me." And that Temple of Fiends is a perfect example of why you do kind of those things.
Yeah, like the most Chaos did, I think he stunned the White Mage, whacked the White Wizard, and fasted himself, and that was pretty much all she wrote. And
We'd like to welcome Spellzapp into the broadcast booth. Spellzapp, GG, sir, on your well-played race.
Hey, thanks, Dang.
Kind of just go over it real quick. My name is Dang Wu. My broadcast partner, Melee Wizard, and we have Spellzapp, our winner here at 1:29:29, 1 hour 29 minutes and 29 seconds. Spellzapp, basically, I was kind of explaining to people was some runners are just in tune with this, with certain seeds, and I gotta admit that early sea dive that found adamant, was that your plan to check that chest, or were you gonna go to mermaid side then check that chest? Like, what kind of came up to that? Because you were in tune with this seed.
What I wanted to do was, I know that there were chests in Marsh Top that I didn't check, but I grabbed the whatever it was to go do the chain. I think it was the bottle. And I came back and I was like, okay, well, I'm going on the way to, there could be like ice. I didn't want to go to ice. I didn't have spells to go to ice. But I did have warp. So I did the first floor of sea, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go clear the first floor, warp out, and then go to mermaids. But then I got the floater, and then so on and so forth.
And we have HighRo Fellows in the booth as well. GG.
Thanks, Melee.
Hey, GG, man.
I missed that floater in the first 8 minutes by one chest.
Yeah, you never want to see it go like that. That was pretty much what made the difference in this one.
Yeah, the instant I came back and found it where I did, I knew I was dead. There's just no recovering from that.
Yeah, the one silver lining I could take from that sort of thing is that you didn't find the ship or the key that led you astray farther.
Yeah, I was gonna say, HighRo Fellows, you were the first one into the sea shrine. You went on the mermaid side, and when we seen Spellzapp check that first floor and found the adamant, I was talking with Melee, and I basically said, it's one of those chests where you don't think about unless you're going Kraken side. You kind of forget about it because it's in that one room that's off on the left side, and it's like on your way to Kraken.
Well, yeah, I didn't have warp. I wouldn't have checked it.
With the spell list and the unrunnables and stuff, I had made up my mind I was going to, with that Oxyel where it landed, I was going to do a mermaid's play and just take all the chest density I could out of there and then leave. And it just, if it lands on the other of those two chests, I'm fine. But where it landed over there, I'm like, okay, I'll come back when I've got some better spell list, clear that side, and go down and take out Kraken all at once. Because with the power bonk and the other stuff, I was fine. I was ready to go. It was just missed it by one chest. I've done that twice this tournament. It's driving me crazy.
At least the stuff in mermaids, finding the power bonk which was down there, that was something that Spellzapp didn't have. No, with the Topher being the way it was, he didn't really need it.
Yeah, the power bonk is a fine find, but to be perfectly honest, for the first half to 2/3 of the seed, it's not really useful, because as long as you've got something from a flame sword on up or decent spells, you don't ever use the thing until you get to maybe Kraken and Tiamat, and then the Fiends Revisited. So it's early game. I don't see it as that valuable a find, really.
Yeah, another thing that was kind of unfortunate, mostly regarding that loot placement, that was that once you found the loot, you pretty much go-moded, and that next floor in Sky had Excal, Masa, and the third ribbon.
Well, I knew I was down to TNT, loot, and key. So I knew that as soon as I found the TNT, I knew it was a turn into one, which means I knew I had one remaining loose. So then it just became Sky Tower for chest density and go mode. And, what do you do? If I'd have found that...
I don't fault you for basically go moding. It's just you ended up missing out on some because of it.
Well, yeah, and if I find the floater earlier with the chime and the cube placement, I I probably dive Sky the instant I find Brack, because you can take 50-some chests, nuke down enemies for XP, and Brack Tiamat. So, just basically that entire seed just came down to, did you check the one extra chest in Sea Shrine, or did you not? And the instant you did, it was over.
And Spellzapp, do you have any other thoughts on this seed?
Yeah, I mean, because I kind of go to Sky most of the time anyway. I knew I had the slab to turn in, but I said I'm going to full clear it regardless of if that turns into the looter. So I went to Sky first. I just did it, and then, worked my way from... I pretty much always check Sky. I probably shouldn't say that, but, Will Cleos can scout me if he wants.
Well, hey, it worked out. It worked wonders for you this time around.
I mean, the early game wasn't too bad for for most of you guys. You guys were able to, on the second encounter, do the long walking because you both did the long walk where you guys went from, what was it, Ice Cave to Herb to Crystal to Tail. You guys both did that long walk around. It was kind of funny, but you guys made use of that encounter table. I mean,
oh wow, Spell, you did that herb to whatever turn in without the airship?
Yeah.
Oh my god, if I had found that airship, I was so far ahead. Oh,
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. I know Sea Shrine at like 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Okay, so you went there basically first. Right when you got there, you had Oxio, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go in.
Yeah, exactly. I dove that in, 10 or 12 minutes. Oh my god.
Yeah, the very first real divergence from you guys is HighRo went into Sea Shrine, you went over to Crescent, you got the warp spell, and when HighRo got out, we were like, when he gets over to Crescent, he's probably going to be like, this would have been so much easier if I had warp at level 2. But basically, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot more, so HighRo, any other final thoughts, comments?
Just GG Spellzapp. That was apparently with a weak Topher. That wasn't too big a deal. Thanks to Speed Game, and thanks guys for coming in and calming for us. Canuck, hopefully you aren't having too much trouble seeing the tracker this evening. So other than that, nothing much, guys. Other than just dang the one chest in Sea Shrine, apparently.
Spellzapp, as our winner, and you actually get to avoid the last chance qualifier, so you get to do the play-in race, which gives you a lot better odds of making to the bracket. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, how'd you like me fight that iguana for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, unrunnable iguana. That was a bit of a thing. both of you ended up having multiple encounters in a row on that.
But as far as final thoughts, thanks everybody for coming out and doing comms. Thanks for tracking. Thanks for Speed Game for hosting us, and of course, big GG to HighRo. I think he's going to do very well in the last chance. I think he could win it.
I would agree with you on that one. He was very good. He had the right idea. He was a little more aggressive than you in the early game. He just missed that one chest. Before I get over to you, Melee, to kind of give your last thoughts, I forgot to mention to people, we have 3 races tomorrow. 2 of them are on Speed Gaming, 1 of them is on Random Mania. Our first one is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Len the Cat versus Asher. That's going to be a afternoon battle. We have at 6:30 p.m. also on Speed Gaming. Hasn't been determined on which channel yet. Tyrannex versus Trenton. And then at 10 p.m. on Random Mania, we don't know yet what channel, Wout versus Eli Gerbrap. So we have 3 more battles that are all going to have huge implications leading into next week's play-in race and last chance qualifiers. So make sure to tune in for tomorrow's Final Fantasy action. And let's get your thoughts there, Melee, because I know I talked way too much today, and I apologize for you.
That's fine. I don't like interrupting people, so that half of that was probably on me. I was going to mention the next races too. These races are going to be big because all these races are between 2 and 2s or 1 and 3s, so they will all have implications regarding those play-in races. So those are going to be very important races. So with that, looking into, let's see, what was anything going on the speed gaming in the immediate future? I didn't think to look into that before then.
Well, final thoughts I'm going to bring up. Just wanted to say thank you for everybody. Make sure to check all chests if you can in that round 1. GG to Spellzapp. Well played, sir, for doing what you did. HighRo, you're going to kill it in the last chance qualifier. You're one heck of a racer. You the fans and stuff like that, thank you for making it entertaining for us. Hangry Canuck, thank you for doing what you did on the tracker. It was very well organized, kept us on our toes. We knew what was going on. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see our Lord and Savior War Mech, but maybe tomorrow. We got 3 more races of some intense action for everybody. Were you able to find it?
Yep. I was waiting for you to finish your thought. Right now on Speed Gaming 5, we have the community race for Super Metroid Link to the Past combo. Also on Speed Gaming 4, we have the Bloodborne All Bosses Tournament race in progress. And at 11 o'clock tonight on this very channel, Speed Gaming 2, we have a Zelda 1 multi-category race. So that should be interesting. And so with that, alongside Dengwu, I am Melee Wizard, and have a nice night.